Hello. Hi, everyone. It's Friday. Melanie here with Stamp with Melanie. Thanks for joining this evening. I thought this evening that we would make a few cards that are really easy to mass produce because Christmas is coming, and if you're like me, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to get everything done in time for the holidays. So, and for me at least, one of those items includes making my own Christmas cards. So, all right. So anyhow, I thought I would show you 3 cards that are pretty easy to make. If you're watching, say hi. Hi, Xana. Midnight, where you are. Wow. Good morning to you. Okay, before we get started, of course, I have the obligatory announcement for you, and that is Stampin' Up's fantastic joint offer that they have going on for the month of October in celebration of their 35th anniversary. So what you can do is either get 35% off the cost of your starter kit or 35% more product in your starter kit. And so what that means, what that translates to, is you can get $125 in product of your choice for $64.35 with free shipping. These are US dollar prices. Or you can get $168.75 in product of your choice for $99 with free shipping. So if you have a big wish list with a lot of products on it, I would go for this one. If you have a smaller wish list and a little smaller wallet, I would go with the 35% off of the joint offer. Either way, it's a fantastic deal. And if you're interested, when I edit this live, when it's over, I will add the link for joining, or you can reach out to me with any questions that you may have. So I'm not going to spend any more time on it. I know that's not why you're here. So we'll go ahead and get started. This is the first card that I came up with for this evening. This card makes use of one of the new designer series papers, well, actually a couple of them, that are found as an online exclusive. One of those papers is this this glitter paper that's adhesive backed, and you're going to see how easy this is to use. It comes in gold and silver, and of course it's very beautiful because all glimmer paper is, right? And then the designer series paper we're using is this one, and this is the Shining Christmas designer series paper. And again, this is one of the online exclusives. So be sure to check those out if you haven't already. Okay, the stamp set and dies that I used for this set are in the annual catalog. So they were around last year, and some of you may already have that. So let's go ahead and get this one put together. I started out with a Mossy Meadow card base. And then I had a layer of cherry cobbler, followed by a layer of designer series paper, which I was a little overzealous, and I've already adhered those together. So I'm just going to add them to the front of my card. And seriously, you could just cut up all this paper ahead of time and have it ready, and all you need to do is put it together. Just as easy as can be. The next item that we have is a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock that's just going to go right here. It's going to set right there. And I have a gold glimmer circle cut out of the glimmer paper. And then this little circle die cut, which is from the Labels Aglow dies. And like I said, this came out last year. So most of you, or some of you, may already have that. I used this die right here to make my circle. And then I used the deckled circle dies to cut out the gold one. I use this one, which is like the third one from the smallest, to cut out that one. Okay. The stamp set I used is Brightest Glow, which coordinates with the dies. And I'm using 'Tis the Season as my stamp and Cherry Cobbler as my ink. Not much stamping on this one. So, get the Cherry Cobbler. I've got my little circle. And there we have it. That's the sum total of the stamping for this card. If you've been around before for my lives, you know I'm pretty fanatical about cleaning my stamps after I use them. So. All right, now I need a strip like this. And then I need to cut a little piece of that gold glimmer paper. I thought I had it cut, but I don't see it, so we'll just cut another one. All right. And I cut this to like 1/2 inch. With the glimmer paper, sometimes you need to cut it twice just to be on this, just to be sure it cuts through, especially with having the adhesive on the back, it's a little thicker. So I'm going to cut off my excess. Normally I would do that after, but since this is adhesive backed, I didn't want to peel the adhesive off of the whole strip. I just stuck that in the middle. Okay. And then sometimes it's hard to get a piece of cardstock to stick to a piece of glimmer paper. So I'm just going to use a little Tombow because that seems to always work. And I'm just going to let that set for a minute so that it can dry. Now, while that is drying, I have a piece of basic white cardstock that will go on the inside of this card. And I'm going to add a little Stampin' Seal at the bottom. And then add this strip of Designer Series paper. And this is left over from when I cut down the main panel. And then again, I'll just trim off the extra. Let me move this up a little bit. I think it was kind of back. All right. So we'll add that to the center of our card. I'll add some seal to the back of that strip of Cherry Cobbler cardstock. I'm just going to put that, it's not going to reach both sides. So I'm just going to put it in the middle. And then, this seems to not be moving now. Just peel this adhesive back off of here. It comes apart really easily, so that's nice. And then just add that there. And I'm going to grab the red and green adhesive back pearls, also from the annual catalog. Wasn't supposed to stick to me. Okay. Now, if you guys want to get the kit to make these cards, I will send that to you free with your $35 order when you use my host code that's shown here. And you need to place that order by the time you go to bed Sunday night. Okay, so there's our first card. Quick and easy. That's very easy to mass produce. You can knock out a bunch of those in almost no time. All right, let's get up the next one. Okay, for our next card, this is the one that we're going to make. Again, the Designer Series paper does most of the heavy lifting. The only stamping we have is our little heat embossing here. So let's go ahead and get this one put together. I have a piece of garden green cardstock for my base. And then a piece of balmy blue, and then a piece of Designer Series paper. Now this paper is the, it's the paper pack that Stampin' Up! Is donating $3 from the sale of every pack of this paper to Toys for Tots. And so here's what it is. It's the Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. And if you've missed it, it's real cute. There's a lot of really cute patterns in it. It's right at the front of the Holiday Mini catalog. So take a look at that. All right. So let's just put these together. And then I have another strip of that paper and a piece of balmy blue. They're cut to the same length, and I'm just going to add those to the front. So you can dress up or down this particular layout by the choice of cards of Designer Series paper that you use. Now, I want to trim this off just to make sure these are both the same length. Okay. I went with a more casual look with this paper, but some of the other papers are pretty dressy or fancy. Okay, now for this one, I also have an inside panel, and then we're going to add this strip to the side of this. One of my favorite things about Stampin' Seal is that when you first put it down, it's really easy to lift it back up if you don't have it aligned like you would like to. All right. Can add that right there. Now, for the next step on this card, we're going to do a little heat embossing. We're going to use Merry Christmas from the Hope and Peace stamp set. This also is from the annual catalog, so it came out last year. Now, if you don't already have it, you can use whatever stamp set you have on hand. So I'm going to use my embossing buddy first. And the reason why you do that is to reduce static electricity and reduce specks staying on your card, because we don't want specks. And then I have my Versamark. Okay, stamped Merry Christmas. And I'm going to grab my white embossing powder. And let's see if this will stretch, because the magic is in the melting. You can see it's starting to get bright and shiny, so you know it's melting now. All right. Let's set this aside. And then I'm going to punch it out using the Modern Label Punch from the Modern Garden bundle in the Fall Mini. And just punch this out. Okay, I'm going to use a little Stamp and Seal and put it across the back. And then cut 2 strips of this gold ribbon. This is also an online exclusive, and it comes in gold and silver. We'll use the silver on the next card. And all I'm going to do is make 2 strips. Now, excuse me, with this ribbon, you can either have a gold or silver side, or like a gold or silver trimmed side. So I'm setting it so that the gold is up on both sides. And just slant cut my ends. Okay, and of course grab the trusty dimensionals. Because no live would be complete without dimensionals. And we'll just add this to the front of our card. So there you have it. That's the second card, another really quick and easy card to make a lot of. Okay, one more. Now, if you were watching many months ago when I showed you all the designer series papers and said this one was my least favorite, the Mary Bold and Bright designer series paper, well, I was wrong. It's actually one of my favorites. I love these bright colors, and this is the paper pack that we're going to use for the last card. And this is what it looks like. And then I just have a little strip of the paper at the bottom. So let's go ahead and put this one together. This is Poppy Parade. Sometimes when I look at the catalog, I think, oh my gosh, what were they thinking? And then when I use it, I think, well, now I know. I should know better by now than to say, ooh, I don't like that. Okay, then I have a shaded spruce panel, and I'm going to layer these on here before I get out the adhesive. Just to make sure I like the way it looks. Oops, this one's not cut down. Oh, that's because it's for the inside. Okay, here's the one. All right, and then one more. All right. So we'll just use a little stamp and seal and put these guys in place. And I'm going to start with the fa la la across the bottom, because once it's in place, the other two are pretty easy to line up correctly. Okay. There's that one. And one more. This paper is seriously so fun. Okay. Now, before we put this on the card, I'm going to take a piece of, this is the silver that goes with this gold. And they're sold in a 2-pack, so you get both of them. So there's the solid sides, and then here's the edged sides. This one looks like it's white, and this one looks like it's off-white. The gold is off-white, and the silver is white. Anyhow, I think they're very pretty. And perfect for holiday crafting. So I'm going to wrap this around my card and tie a bow. And since I can't tie a bow for anything, we'll just see what I can do tonight. All right, that's not too bad. Okay. Now I can go ahead and layer this on the front of my card. Add a little stamp and seal. Okay, now for this one, I have a rectangle that I cut out with the deckled rectangle dies. And Poppy Parade and Shaded Spruce are my colors. And I'm using the More Wishes stamp set. You might remember that we have the stamp set called Biggest Wishes. That's for birthdays and thank you and so forth. Well, now we have a Christmas and New Year's edition too. And I am so happy that we have it because I love this stamp set. So I'm going to use Merry and Christmas for this card. And when you're stamping with photopolymer, it's good to put them face down on your mat and then pick them up with your block, so you know they're the right shape. Sometimes when you pull them out of the case, they stretch a little bit, but if you lay them down first before you pick them up, they go back to the right shape. So there's Merry Christmas. Where'd my rectangle go? There it is. All right. So Poppy Parade. for Mary. Oh, good grief. Hang on. My Poppy Parade is real juicy, so let me just stamp that off first and start over. I don't want to make a mess. All right. Oh, that's much better. All right, so you want to make sure your stamp is covered, but you don't need to have ink everywhere in every little crevice. And try and get that towards the center. Okay, Mary. And then the shaded spruce behaves much nicer. It's not as juicy. I'm just going to stamp right on top of Mary. All right. I'm going to grab those dimensionals again. And put some on the back. Okay, and for this card, well, let's get this on here. For this card, we didn't have any embellishments in Shaded Spruce or Poppy Parade. So, okay, so there's the Merry Christmas. So I made my own. I used these neutral adhesive back sequins from the annual catalog and my Stampin' Blends, and I just colored the white ones in Poppy Parade and Shaded Spruce to make my own my own embellishments. So I'm going to go ahead and add these to the card. They dry instantly, but these are extra dry. They've been sitting around for a little bit. So I did 3 in the Poppy Parade and then 2 in the Shaded Spruce. All right. Then for the inside of this one, I have the basic white cardstock and then a strip of the Fa La La paper. I'll add that to the inside. And there you have it. There's our third and final card. Cute. And so easy to make. So, okay, just again, to recap the 3 cards. We have this one, our little bears, and then our holly leaves. And like I said, to get this kit for free, place a minimum $35 order with this host code by Sunday night. And I will start mailing these out on Monday. So that's it for me for tonight. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay dry. In my neck of the woods, we're supposed to get a ton of rain starting tonight. So stay dry if you're on the East Coast. Otherwise, have a great weekend. And we'll see you again next week. Bye.